Oh, remember when? A lot of people say that when they're reminiscing about the past. We're about to do that right now. Hey, technology has really improved our lives, and I love living in the 21st century. Look, technology allows you and I to hang out here each week and talk and have some fun. But technology has also caused us to abandon the past. There's lots of things that we used to do we don't have to do anymore. Remember the milkman, or do you know what a honey dipper is? Don't Google that. Well, here's a few things from the past that we don't have to do anymore thanks to technology. So, remember when? Music stores. Are they still even in business? Or remember when you had to go to a music store and listen to the latest new releases at a kiosk before buying it on a disc? Airport gates. Remember when you could walk a loved one to their gate at the airport and actually give them a hug and a kiss goodbye? I mean, seconds before they boarded the aircraft. Well, you can thank Al-Qaeda for this going away. FunSaver cameras. Remember when you couldn't afford a top shelf camera, so you bought those disposable FunSaver jobs from the store? Then you turned the whole camera back in to get your film developed. VCR. Oh, my grandmother gave me nightmares with the damn thing. Remember having to program your VCR so that you wouldn't miss an episode of Cheers or your other favorite shows? Or how about having each family member having their own VHS tape set on EP so they could record 6 hours of their own favorite shows, everybody arguing about what to record next, and of course, fast forwarding through the commercials. Please Be Kind, Rewind. Remember aimlessly wandering the aisles of your local video store, trying to find that new release, then getting slammed with a charge if you didn't rewind the tape when you turned it back in? Or getting PO'd when the guy before you didn't? Ordering from catalogs. Remember the Sears or Montgomery Ward catalog? Most of you millennials certainly don't, but how about when the big fat one would come at Christmas time and then you would triple check the product numbers you wrote down to make sure you put them on the order form so you got the right quality, color, or item that you wanted? Well, if you couldn't find it in the store, you went and ordered it, then picked it up at the catalog department. The box office, and I don't mean HBO, but how about when you had to get up early and waiting in line at the concert or theater box office to make sure you got that ticket to the hot show or movie that you were dying to see? And how about all those fights that would ensue when somebody tried to jump in line? That's one thing we can thank Ticketmaster and StubHub for, but of course, not those expensive online fees. Licking stamps. Who remembers licking stamps? They tasted like crap. When is actually the last time you mailed an envelope with a stamp? Well, okay, maybe outside of a birthday card. America Online discs. Oh, remember getting all those America Online CDs in the mail, magazines, even piled up in the waiting room, promising 1,000 hours of internet fun. Except, of course, it would cut you off after 29 minutes unless you clicked that OK button, and then all those busy signals when you flat out couldn't get online. Movies. Who remembers having to look up the times the latest blockbuster movie would be playing by flipping to the movie listings page in the newspaper? That was even before the groundbreaking invention, movie phone. Busy signals. Who remembers calling a family or friend and getting a busy signal? And it still happens when I call my grandmother to this day. Who the hell is she talking with all the time? Answering machines. Who remembers running home to see if that hot girl that you loved would return your call on the answering machine? Who remembers running to delete said messages so that your parents couldn't listen in? The phone book. When is the last time you looked up someone's number in the phone book? Remember when you'd always find that new one all bagged up at your doorstep once a year? Well, that definitely doesn't happen anymore. 411. When you weren't sure of somebody's phone number and you couldn't look it up in the book, you dialed 411 to get the information and awkwardly asked for the operator. Zero. And speaking of operator, when is the last time you actually dialed zero for the operator and actually spoke to a live operator? I'm not talking about in your office building, I'm talking about to make a phone call. Go ahead, try it, I dare you. And speaking of calls, calling collect. When was the last time you were stranded and had to go to a payphone with no change and call your parents collect? Can you even still call collect today? I remember my parents and grandparents would lose their shit when someone made a collect call. They would probably still lose their minds if I tried it right now. That's why we all kept change in our pockets, just in case. Downloading music. Remember you would set up your Napster or LimeWire queues to download songs all night long while you slept, only to find that somehow you were disconnected in the middle of the night. And finally, pop bottles. Remember having to use a bottle opener to open a bottle of pop? I still have to do it for beer sometimes, but when is the last time you've actually seen a glass bottle of pop? So hey, do you remember all these? Well, that certainly was a blast in the past, wasn't it? And remember the actual time we actually wrote scripts out on a piece of paper? Well, Grandpa Joe here apparently still does. Alright, make sure you click that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss more comedy here on Kick It Back with Jersey Joe and my other web show, The Brew. And I'm pointing at the wall here for no reason because old Grandpa Joe is completely confused. But hey, Jersey Joe here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, I hope.